Hi everyone. Wanted to make a video that concentrated on the process to upgrade the Terrarium application. I've had a lot of folks tell me that they have some trouble when they're doing it for various reasons. So I would like to show you all how you would get this done. So the first thing is from the main Amazon menu, and obviously I'm showing you this on an Amazon Fire Stick. If you have a pure Android device, you just need to navigate to settings, and then it's pretty much the same process. From the very top menu, you want to come into settings, click enter, come down to the bottom now and click applications, come further down, manage install applications. This area is going to show you all the apps that are installed on your device. Come down to where it says Terrarium TV. On the right hand side, you'll see the current version that you have installed. In my case, this is version 1.9.5. We're going to install the latest version, which is 1.9.6 as of this recording, but the process will be the same for future versions as they come out. I wanted to show you before I did the install. I want to go ahead and launch this version 1.9.5, and I had just installed it, so we're getting the pop-ups that come up. I want to make sure my default player is set to MX player. I want to accept the disclaimer and whatnot. When the device boots up, it usually boots up in the TV section, and it'll always be in trending. If there's other areas that you prefer, you can come into the very left-hand corner where the 3-line button is, click that, and come down to settings. And here you can make changes that will allow you to have some customization. So for example, if you do no longer wish to see the cam versions in the movie section, you can click that and it won't show you that anymore. Come further down and say you want it to, instead of boot up to the TV show section, here where it says choose default navigation, click that and just change it to movies. If the subcategory that you want it to be different, like right now it'll be most popular, this is where you would change it. Let's say I want to only see the latest releases in high definition. So anyway, there's a lot of different things you can change here. They're very self-explanatory, but once you've done that, you can click the back button, click the back button again, and if we were to relaunch it again, just to show you real quickly, it's going to be in the movie section, and at the very top you can see it says new HD releases. So that's how you do that. But I'm going to show you why I wanted to make those changes in a second. Now, here is the important part. If when you do your upgrade, you have not been keeping up with my videos, and you look on the right hand side and your version is older than 1.9.5, then what you want to do is come here where it says uninstall and then click uninstall again. That will completely remove Terrarium from your device, and then the next steps are exactly the same. If you already have 1.9.5, then you don't need to uninstall it, and that way it will retain the settings that you have that we just changed, for example, to make it default into the movie section and whatnot. So at this point, just come back out to the list of applications and now find your ES Explorer. And if you don't have this on your device, you can always send me a note and I can show you how to put it back on. I have a video that demonstrates that. So let's go ahead and launch ES Explorer. And this application is handy because it's what allows you to connect to my website. When it comes up, sometimes you get little pop-ups and whatnot, so you have to just hit the back button to get out of it. But eventually you want to navigate to the left side panel and come down to where the bookmark is. And the bookmark will always be under the favorite section. So the little arrow is pointing up, then that means that folder is open. If the little arrow is pointing down, then you need to click it so that the little arrow is pointing up. So let me show you. If I click it, see now the little arrow is pointing down. That means that section is no longer visible. If you click it, now everything under favorite is visible. And you want to come to the MFM bookmark. We clip that, and then on the right hand side you will see the applications that I have currently on my website. One quick note, here the third file says MX Player Pro. The same exact way that I just showed you that you look for the version of Terrarium, look to see what version of MX Player Pro you have. If you have one that is older than this one right here, which is 1.9.18, you can just go ahead and click here and install right over the version that you currently have. If for any reason it tells you that it can't, I don't think it should unless you got a really old version. Then again, just from where we were before, you would go and uninstall it and then come back in here and install it from this directory. So what we want to do now is we want to come here to where it says Terrarium 1.9.6 or whatever the latest version is based on the email that I send you. Right now we're on 1.9.6, and you want to choose the one that says for Fire Sticks. For those of you that do not have Fire Sticks, you would choose this one here that says Android. But let's go ahead and click the Fire Stick one. It'll quickly download depending on how quick your internet is, from a few seconds to, you know, a minute or so. At this point you would click Open File and then click Install. Here it's telling you what version you're installing and what's currently installed. And then this process takes about you got to hit the install at this screen bottom right, and then once you hit install at that screen, then it'll actually start installing the latest version. This process takes about a minute. I'm not going to pause the video. I'll just go ahead and let it run out so that you can see in real time that it shouldn't take longer than a minute. If it's taking, for any reason, much longer than that to install, then there's a problem, and you probably got to start over again. I think that the only reasons that you might have issues with this is if you haven't unplugged your Fire Stick for a very long time and the memories are full, and things like that will, you know, give you issues. But I mean, 95% of the time you won't have to do that. Always remember that every once in a while it is a good idea to unplug your Fire Stick, because there is no on-off button. All it does is just go to sleep, and that way it kind of refreshes everything. So as you can see, it has installed. So let's come down and let's go ahead and open it. And the first thing you'll notice is it says this is now version 1.9.6. And he tells you what he's done. He's added more high definition links. So we click OK, and as you can see, it is now in the HD releases, which is exactly where we had it defaulted, or we had changed it to default to in the previous version. So that's one of the nice reasons to install over the previous app. Now, I am going to tell you, I do not know why, but you're going to have to perform one more step at this point. You got to come up to the top left button again, or icon, and you want to come back into settings, and you want to change where it says default player right here. For some reason, it doesn't matter if we had it set at MX player. The installation process always changes this back to yes player, and if you don't do this, then it's going to ask you to download the yes player, and you don't want to do that. You want to change to MX player, because the MX player works a lot better. And once you do that, you're good to go. Then you can just go ahead and click, you know, any movie you want. And when you click, you'll get a few more pop-ups. It's just showing you right here that you can, instead of hitting the button on the top right that's flashing, you can hold the center button on your remote for a few seconds, and it does the same thing again. So just to illustrate it, that's this button right here, the center button. We hold it for a few seconds, let it go, and then it'll start to show your streams. But since this is the first time we're running the app, it's going to give us another pop-up. So we don't want to see this anymore. So click Don't Ask Again, and then click on More Ads, because if you click on Less Ads, it's going to try to get you to change players again. And then you might want to jot this down. This is really nice that he added which of the links are the fastest. So if you do have a slower internet connection, these are the links that you want to pick. Google Video is the fastest, Amazon is the next fastest, and so forth and so on. Once you got that, click that. Top right button is flashing that you can switch the video player with that button, so just hit enter, and there are your streams. Now, he just showed us that the Google videos are the quickest. We have a 1080. Let's go ahead and try that one. We hit play. And look at that. That was pretty much instantaneous. And as I've mentioned in the past, one of the ways that you test to see if you've got a good stream is fast forward. And let's go ahead and fast forward, say, I don't know, let's go by about 15 minutes. Okay, 16 minutes. And as you can see, the video starts to play immediately. that tells you got a very good stream. If you do the fast forward and it's just stuck, then that means that that stream isn't very good. So I hope this has been helpful. At this point, you know, you're ready to start using it and enjoy Terrarium, hopefully moving forward. If you need a reference or reminder on how to do this installation process, go ahead and refer back to this video. Thanks.